What's up, guys? It's your boy Fiskitti here, and I'm so excited. My eyeballs are just about bursting out of my ears at this point. Starfield comes out in less than a week at this point, and I just want to share my thoughts on it because I think it's going to be a good game. First thing to note is the company Bethesda. Over the past decade or so, Bethesda have proved themselves not the best in the realm of action RPGs. Uh, but I think that this one is going to be pretty good because, uh, for one, right, Fallout 76 is one of their two big ploofs. It was made by a more experienced segment of the company, so I don't think it's really a good example. So that really just leaves Fallout 4. And then also, big thing, right? Starfield was supposed to come out about 2 years ago, but then Microsoft bought Bethesda, and they threw a bunch of money at Bethesda, and they said, make a good RPG because it'll make us money, and we like money, and plus people will love that stuff. So this is Todd Howard has said that this is supposed to be like 6 games in one. A couple of things he mentioned: spaceship simulation, ground travel, dialogue system, outpost building, crafting elements. He didn't mention this part, but I imagine like the 6th one is something along the lines of combat. It is a bit concerning how well they'll blend together because that really is a lot, and also how optional each segment of this will be. Hopefully, maybe you're, as you go throughout, the main quest or whatever, you're forced to dip your toes in a bit of everything. But I don't think, unless you want to, you shouldn't have to do all of them to really properly enjoy the game. And I don't think it'll be like that. I'm really hoping not. And also, just hopefully they like mesh well together, because you don't want 6 different games in one. That feel like, it needs to all feel like Starfield, not feel like this game and that game and that game. I'm really hoping there won't be any like useless grinding, because like take smithing. I don't think it's called smithing. Maybe it is called smithing. Anyway, in Skyrim, in that game, with that specific skill, it's really boring because you literally just have to you fast travel to mine. You mine out a bunch of like iron or gold or something, and then you fast travel back to like a place with a smithing look where you can smith. And you just do that over and over again and make a bunch of simple stuff like iron daggers or gold rings or something, until you get your skill high enough that you can actually do something with that skill. But I'm really hoping, for one, that it's a little bit more difficult to get that far in the process, and for 2, a lot more interesting. Like, I'm hoping the skills are a lot more fun to progress through. I think this game is going to have a lot of replayability because both the skill system, I think it's going to be a lot more like Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, where like, you get these perks and like you have to choose a few as you progress. You can't just like max out all of them like you can, or at least not as easily. I don't think it'll be like you can in like Skyrim or Fallout 4, say. Oh, and another thing that should add a lot to replayability. They have a strange like handcrafted generation system. So obviously you have like all the planets, and then you have the 4 major cities. We'll get to the major cities in a minute. But then you have these like handcrafted outposts and whatnot, and they're handcrafted, but they have a system where they're randomly placed somewhere on the map. And so, like, say if there's a cool location in one save, then in a different save, or if a friend is playing it, or someone is watching someone play it on YouTube, say, it won't necessarily be in the same spot on the map. So you'll have to find it on yourself, and you'll just have to find it naturally. The fast travel is also a bit concerning, though. I think that maybe their idea is that you get on the spaceship, you go into space, and then you look at a landing point on a planet on the planet you just got off of, or on another planet, and land there and go to your nearest destination. I'm hoping there's more like land travel, or at least that there's a better fast travel system than that. Like hopefully you don't have to actively get on your spaceship and then go into space and then land from space. And if not, I imagine there will be some mods that do something along those lines. One place that I don't think will need an overhaul on land travel in the same way that maybe the rest of the world does is the cities. The cities look really, really good. I think a lot of people may like look at the number 4 cities, because there are 4 major cities in the game, and may like compare it to like Skyrim's 9 or whatever. But the thing is, these cities are going to be so fleshed out. I imagine there's going to be like so much detail. Like I imagine that compared to say one of the cities in Skyrim, you know, it'll be probably about 5 to 10 times as big, and also a lot more like detailed and mixed together and stuff. Like stuff. It looks like stuff will probably flow more naturally in terms of like the architecture and stuff, and it seems like it's going to be a lot more immersive. But that does leave me questioning the rest of the world and how fleshed out it will be, especially the places, the like not AI, but like the naturally generated area outside of the cities and the handcrafted outposts or whatever. And I have to wonder if they're going to be nearly as detailed or enjoyable to explore through. And I'm also specifically concerned for Earth, because it looks like you're going to be able to travel throughout the entire planet of Earth, but New Atlantis, I'm not sure. I think New Atlantis is on Earth, and then the rest of the planet is... I don't know what happened to the rest of the planet. There might be some like lore reason, like Earth is destroyed and New Atlantis is like on a different planet, but I do know for sure that New Atlanteans in the lore consider themselves like the true sons and daughters of Earth. So point is, I'm concerned for like the cities and the villages and anything similar to that outside of the overall world and outside of the cities. And hopefully there's some sort of maybe mod that adds some nice little cities throughout the planets. I think that would be cool. Also the ratio, because the lore to in-game ratio, because like in Skyrim, say, in the lore, right, the cities are much bigger than in the game. But in Starfield, I think the cities are going to be a lot more accurate, but I don't know how much it's going to leave for the imagination. But I think they're going to be very fleshed out and very close to lore accurate, if not, you know, more or less exact. I'm really excited for the lore and the main story. They have said that this was going to be their best main quest story, which isn't very typical for a Bethesda game. So I'm hoping it holds up. I imagine it will. And hopefully throughout the main quest we get to see, or at least dip our toes into all the little elements of the gameplay. You know, the 6 games in 1, as Todd Howard, Mr. God Howard, has been talking about. But I also hope it like kind of rounds out the lore. And a big question, especially for the main quest, is, are we special? Big question. Are we like Dragonborn-esque creature, blah blah blah, whatever? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like the non-special, just because like Bethesda, the way Bethesda's done it in the past, it just doesn't like feel cool. Like when you're as the Dragonborn, you know, you feel cool, and it's you still get to explore the world and crap, and also people don't even know you're the Dragonborn, but you feel cool because you're the Dragonborn. But then you play like Fallout New Vegas and you're a friggin' courier. Like, who wants to escape reality by pretending to be a mailman? But anyway, it really doesn't matter to me if we're special, because that usually only really affects the main quest, and just how cool we feel generally. And I think there's gonna be like we've seen some stuff in the trailers with some like special alien technology or something. And I think whether we're special or not, the character in the game, I think we'll still feel cool, especially with the alien tech and stuff. Like, if the character isn't special, I think our main character will come into contact with something that makes them special, like some sort of high tech that merges with them and like allows us to become cool, I guess. I don't know. Ascend into the alien heavens and become one with the aliens, and make peace and prosperity by destroying all humans with all our high technology, you puny humans. Yeah, I really don't think it matters, because Bethesda has said that this is going to be their best main story yet. And so if that holds up, if that's true, then I don't think it matters whether we're special, so long as the story's good. I am really hoping for some good DLC, and also the side quests. I really hope, or specifically the side quest lines, and also like, I don't guess their equivalent in like Skyrim or Fallout really matters, but I hope there are some really good and interesting side quests. So that'll be exciting to explore. Because like usually with Bethesda RPGs, the life is in the side quest. Yeah, so I imagine there are going to be a lot of really good mods for this game here over the next 2 or 3 years. Especially once like mod tools are released and apps like Vortex start to support Starfield. And I'm really excited for the mods that people create. Something interesting too about like the modding community for Bethesda games. People mod Bethesda games, you know. Bethesda fans aren't Elder Scrolls fans or Fallout fans. They're Bethesda RPG fans. And so, you know, like when Skyrim came out, modding shifted from like New Vegas to Skyrim, you know? And then it's strange because it's probably because Fallout 4 was poorly received. But when Fallout 4 came out, people kind of stuck with Skyrim. And so Skyrim has been has had a huge modding scene for the past 13 years, 12, however long, 12 years. And so I'm hoping we still manage to keep the Skyrim modding scene, but I also imagine that if this game is really as good as I and hopefully everyone hopes it will be, then I imagine a lot of people will, if not kind of like migrate over to modding Starfield, they'll like start having more of a focus on Starfield as well as Skyrim. Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. The Sunday after this game comes out, I will specifically September 3rd, I will be releasing the first Let's Play episode. It should be around an hour to 2 hours long, and then after that it'll be more in the like 15 to 25 minute range. So if you want to see that, maybe consider subscribing, and also if you liked what you saw already, maybe consider subscribing anyway. And I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Johnny.